Jose Berrios was awesome this weekend. Plus, let's hit the waiver wire next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FPT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Monday, June 6th. I am Frank Sanford, joined by Scott White. And it was a big weekend for these two starting pitchers. Jose Berrios, big bounce back. Career high 13 strikeouts over 7 innings pitched against the Minnesota Twins. And then Luis Severino just kind of looks like he's back, Scott. 7 shutout innings, 1 hit allowed, 10 strikeouts against the Detroit Tigers. What's your confidence level in these starting pitchers moving forward, Severino and Berrios?
It's going up. I think it might actually be a little higher for Severino now because, it's great outing against the Tigers, the worst offense in baseball. Okay. But Severino's been performing close to this for a while now. It's 4 straight starts, at least 6 innings, 2 of them 7 innings. His ERA is 2.95 now. And I think what's more impressive than that even is, so the 20 swinging strikes he had against the Tigers, 8 were on the slider, which he threw 26% of the time. It was the second most thrown pitch. And that was his pitch before all the arm issues of the past few years. That was what he staked his success on. And he wasn't throwing it much early this season. And I thought maybe just the strain to put on the elbow, maybe it wasn't something he felt like he could rely on anymore, but he's upped the usage and we've seen the swinging strikes go up. And even with him not throwing the slider much early this season, career high swinging strike rate now for Luis Severino, 14.4%. So obviously there's some injury risk there. He hadn't had a healthy season since 2018, but I'm kind of viewing Severino as a top 20 starting pitcher going forward, I think. Berrios, of course, he was drafted somewhere around 20th at starting pitcher this year and has a pretty stable track record. He'd been terrible early on, but this was a dominant start by every measure. It doesn't mean he's back on track, hopefully. I mean, he does have a tendency to have awful stretches and have amazing stretches where he looks like the Cy Young, and then the numbers usually end up about the same, high 3s ERA, a little less than a K per, right around a K per maybe. So maybe he's about to go on a run here. I don't know that I'd be that motivated to sell Berrios based on this start. I'd probably just hope that this is the start of him getting back on track.
All right, we had a few prospects either promoted or recalled, and one of them was Joe Adell. Taylor Ward went on the IL with a hamstring strain. Joe Adell was recalled. For the Red Sox, Jackie Bradley was placed on the paternity list, and Jarren Duran was recalled. And then we got the Rangers prospect, Ezekiel Duran. He was promoted straight from AA, where he was hitting .317 with 7 homers, 7 steals. Scott, are you looking to add any or all? Joe Adell, Ezekiel Duran, and Jarren Duran.
Look, I think the majority of listeners probably not, but I was looking to add these players in some of my deeper rotisserie leagues with the bigger lineups, more than 350 players rostered in these leagues. I think there's a big question whether Adell and Jarren Duran stick around. Adell especially. Joe Madden said he wouldn't be up if Taylor Ward hadn't gone on the IL, which way to instill confidence in the guy. But they're also expecting a minimum stay for Taylor Ward. So I really think it's going to be a short stay for Joe Adell. He wasn't performing that well at AAA anyway, at least not recently. Jarren Duran is up because Jackie Bradley is on paternity leave, and so he could get sent right back down. But he did bat leadoff both Saturday and Sunday, so maybe the Red Sox will find a way to keep him around. He's kind of changed up his profile a bit this year after selling out for power last year and it not really working out over the long haul. He's gone back to his roots, being more of a contact hitter who runs a lot. But that certainly could be useful in those 5 outfielder rotisserie leagues. Ezekiel Duran is the one that has the best chance of sticking around. Now, he's the least known in fantasy circles. He's being promoted from AA. But his numbers there were pretty impressive. .317 batting average, 7 home runs, 7 steals, 24 doubles already, a .936 OPS, 18% strikeout rate, which is good. And less than a 30% ground ball rate. He was in a lot of line drives, a lot of fly balls. That's usually a formula for success if he can sustain it in the majors. And he seems to be taking over at third base for the Rangers because their other recent call-up, Josh Smith, sprained his shoulder.
Yeah, and he's widely available. That's Ezekiel Duran. He's only 6% rostered on CBS. So, again, if you play in a deeper league, I believe he has second base eligibility to start, and then obviously he will gain third base eligibility. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.